This proves he's built different as JT Miller speaks out after his amazing return performance for the New York Rangers. We're also going to break down some interesting updates and injury updates for the New York Rangers moving forward, as it has some serious implications on this season as we head towards the playoffs. We're going to break it all down in this episode of Rangers Digest. But before we do that, a quick reminder to hit that subscribe button. About 74% of you who watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel. So if you want to stay up to date with everything going on with the New York Rangers as they make a playoff push here with JT Miller, it's free. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Now, obviously, JT Miller returning to the New York Rangers lineup for the first time since early 2018 and put on a monster performance, scoring 2 goals against the Boston Bruins in a disappointing loss to the Bruins. But one thing is for sure, this guy is an animal, and he's going to try and lift this team to a playoff appearance this season. Let's get right into it. Obviously, scoring his first goal just over 10 minutes into this game, obviously 11 minutes into the game, whatever, what have you, making an instant impact, scoring right away, right after the Bruins. McAvoy scored. Great shot, great setup as well from Panarin, and just a laser shot. He gets on the board. He's feeling good. Obviously, he's the one to score in his first game back, the first goal for the New York Rangers. Love to see that. And he spoke out after the game, but before we get to that, his second goal as well. I mean, driving the net, stick on the ice. This is the stuff that the Rangers got to do, putting pucks to the net, driving the net. He is going to facilitate that. I love it so far for JT Miller. I knew he was going to make an impact right away with the Rangers. He did exactly that, and I'm excited to see what he does in their next game tonight. It's going to be very exciting, and we'll have some post-game reaction from that one as well. But really, really excited. I keep using the word excited to continue to see what JT Miller can do for this team as the new first-line center of this team. Like I mentioned, he spoke out after the game. JT Miller on coming back to the New York Rangers. There's 1,000 reasons to want to come here. And then with the hockey team as well, it's been one of the best teams in the league for the last 4 years, and I'm excited to be a part of trying to get them back into the playoff picture. So love to see that. Vincent Trocheck, future captain of your New York Rangers, Vincent Trocheck, on having JT Miller, his childhood friend, on the team. He's my best friend in the world. We grew up since we were 9 years old together, lived about 500 yards from each other back in Pittsburgh. It's just a cool experience to be able to play with your best friend in the NHL. I mean, that's a crazy experience for these two. The fact that they grew up together, they grew up playing hockey together, best friends, and now they're playing for the New York Rangers together. And I think one of them is about to get the captaincy. And the other one, JT Miller, is part of the leadership group going forward and part of the future, as we covered in a video yesterday. Chris Drury sees him as a big part of ushering in this new era of New York Rangers hockey, at least in the leadership position, and obviously on the ice as well. Like, he's going to put on a show. Two goals yesterday in his debut. He's going to be a big part of this team moving forward. A laser shot from JT Miller. Now, to move on from JT Miller a little bit, to pivot to more about what's happening with the Rangers. And obviously, we're going to have way more on JT Miller in future videos. And obviously, he's going to be a big part of this team. And I expect him to put up crazy points as we get going here. Things did not end well for him in Vancouver. I think that he's going to put on a show now with the New York Rangers. We're going to see the JT Miller of the last 2 seasons. But to move forward, Lindgren had a terrible game. A lot of really terrible games yesterday. PK Subban on the panel was going off about the Rangers' shocking defensive play. Lindgren did not help that. He's got to be smarter. He was awful. I thought this tweet was hilarious. Lindgren played so bad today, I wouldn't be surprised if Lavi benches Cooley tomorrow. Big game tonight as well. The Rangers have to pick up 2 points tonight. Crucial, absolutely crucial in the playoff race. They're slowly falling behind. They were in a great spot just a week ago. Ryan Lindgren got emotional and opened up to Brooksy. I was talking about this last week as well, about how bad he wants to be a Ranger and never once thought about how he'd have to play better in order to make that happen. That's the thing, right? You got to play well. You got to be a big part of the team if they're going to keep you around. And we know this year, Chris Drury is not afraid to make very unpopular decisions amongst players, at least. He wants the best for his team, and Ryan Lindgren has had a tough year, and we can get into it. Ryan Lindgren is a great player, right? He is a great player for the New York Rangers and has been for the last couple of years, and an absolute warrior, right? Putting his body on the line. I mean, his body is breaking down. You can see it at just 26 years old because he is putting his body on the line, or, you know, in his late 20s, I should say, because he's putting his body on the line time and time again, and people call him injury prone. No, he's blocking pucks, he's eating pucks, he's, you know, making plays happen, the hard plays, he's taking hits to make plays in the playoffs, in the regular season, all that good stuff. So, you know, credit where credit is due to Ryan Lindgren, but he hasn't had a good season. The decision making is starting to go as well. You can see it. Plays like yesterday, it's undisciplined, bad stuff. So he's got to get that under control, and I do think that the Rangers actually will move this player before the trade deadline. I think they want to completely retool this team heading into the playoffs. I don't think they want to head into the playoffs with what they know they have from the last couple seasons. I think Chris Drury wants to continue to retool on the fly and have obviously a better roster going forward for next season. But even in the playoffs, I don't think he's going to be afraid to move off of guys heading into the playoffs and see how certain guys like maybe Zach Jones sink or swim if they're put into that position. So we'll see how that plays out. Another update for the New York Rangers as well. Adam Edstrom, fourth liner, went out last night with a injury, or yesterday afternoon, I should say, with a lower body injury. He did not return to the game. We don't have any further updates. I'm sure we'll get something from Peter Laviolette before the game today, because obviously back-to-back, no morning skate. So I'm sure we'll get some type of update from Peter Laviolette tonight, but we'll have to keep our eyes peeled for that one, because, you know, he's been pretty good as of late. Obviously, a couple weeks ago, Adam Edstrom, Sam Carrick, these guys, even Matt Rempe to a degree, were literally winning the Rangers games off of their play alone. So hopefully he's back. Hopefully he's not out long term. He's been pretty good at times this season. Didn't start the greatest, but has picked it up recently, and they've had a great role the last little while with the fourth line. And the last couple things I'll mention here is Kreider, not happy yesterday with himself, obviously heading for the Four Nations face-off as well, slamming his stick. I don't want to, you know, play into the narrative that this is definitely the JT Miller effect. You know, JT Miller's demanding excellence out of everyone, but I think there is a little bit to that. I think JT Miller's going to come into this dressing room and say, like, this is the way we got to play. If you guys want to win, we got to play a certain way. Chris Kreider has not played up to that level so far this season. He is frustrated. I like seeing the frustration from these guys. Let me know in the comments if you do too. I love it when Kreider and these guys, the leadership group of this team, the guys who've been here the longest, show this frustration, show that they want to win, because we did not see that at times earlier this season. It looked like apathy. Right now, they're frustrated. They want to make the playoffs, and I think they're going to try and put on a show for Rangers fans. And again, the last thing I'll mention before I wrap up this video here is New York Rangers defenseman Urho Vakanainen has been added to Team Finland's roster for the Four Nations face-off. So some more invested interest for the New York Rangers and their fans at the Four Nations face-off. Obviously, Miro Heiskanen is out with an injury. Jani Hakanpää hasn't played all year for the Toronto Maple Leafs, in a shocking move that he was even added to this lineup. So he's not going to play. That's been confirmed. So Vakanainen gets added to the lineup. So congratulations to him. Obviously, some more, like I said, invested interest for the New York Rangers organization and Rangers fans to watch this tournament, with a couple players already in the tournament. But let me know what you think about JT Miller's comments, Vincent Trocheck's comments, JT Miller's amazing return as a New York Ranger. Hopefully he puts up a couple more goals tonight. Let me know what you think about Adam Edstrom's injury. He's been great. Ryan Lindgren, are they going to move off of him as well? Vakanainen makes the Four Nations face-off, and hopefully the Rangers can show some more fire in their play and pick up a huge 2 points here tonight. It's going to be interesting to watch. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with everything New York Rangers.